The biggest event in NHL 26 is finally out. We have 32 fantasy cards, and let me tell you, this is one of the most expensive events I ever seen in an NHL video game, because we all know that fantasy, team of the year and team of the season events are expensive, but this one is just mind-blowing. And because EA released all 32 fantasy cards in 1 week, we have 10 master set players, and then every other team just have a base card art. And also, the fantasy cards will start from 75 all the way to the 85 overall. The only good thing about this fantasy event, then some of these cards are usable now, so you no longer need to make a fantasy card, then put him on your bench, because let's say if you get any of the 80 plus overall fantasy cards, you can actually put them on your team and use them every single game. If you do decide to use the fantasy cards, we also have new lineup combinations. If you use the fantasy cards in your offense, you'll get plus 15 million in your salary cap, or 2 defensemen plus 10 million. But now let's have a look at the cards, and we will start with Devon Toews from Colorado Avalanche at 75 overall. I will not go through all the stats because you basically can read them from the screen. He does have tape to tape and he's a defenseman, so that means every single time he will score a goal, he will go up by +2 in the overall. So he would need 12 goals to get to the 99, and I think Devon Toews have a good chance of actually getting there. Brady will be for Nashville Predators, and yes, another left-handed defenseman with Rocket. Again, if let's say Nashville Predators is your favorite team and you decide to use these players, they do have 83 speed and 83 acceleration, so technically you can use him, but if you look at the slapshot accuracy or wrist shot accuracy, this guy definitely will not score anything as far as you're not using him in the cap chase. Nick Schmaltz will be a right-handed winger or a center from Utah. He does have a quick release, 81 speed and 81 acceleration. Hands and shooting, as always, for 75 is quite mid, or let's be very honest, not usable at this point in the game. Andrei Kuzmenko will be the card for LA Kings. His X factor is unstoppable. Alex Killorn will be from Anaheim Ducks, left-handed winger with quick release as well. For everyone who is the Pens fan, Chris Letang is your right-handed defenseman with Rocket. Considering he's starting at 77 and every goal he scores he will go up by +2 in the overall, this is not a bad card. I will do a separate video where I'll go through all the fantasy cards and who in my opinion has the best chances of getting a 99. Considering they cost a lot, you really need to think about who you are making. My suggestion would be always make the player from your favorite team, if you can make one. If you can make multiple, then the video I will be releasing, let's say on Sunday, probably you will find helpful. Bowen Byram is a left-handed defenseman from Buffalo Sabres, another guy who I believe will score quite a lot of goals, so he's definitely not a bad choice. He does have elite edges and already at 77 overall, 85 speed and 84 acceleration. Pavel Zacha is your center or left-handed winger from Boston Bruins. Already at 78 overall, he does have 85 faceoffs, so technically again you can use him on your fourth line. Blake Coleman will be the player from Calgary Flames. His X factor is spark plug, and I probably would only use him on the wing because he does have only 73 faceoff stats at this point in the game. Jamie Benn is the player from Dallas Star, and he does have unstoppable. 77 faceoff stats, 80 speed and 80 acceleration. He's definitely scoring enough goals to get to the 99 as far as he's staying healthy. So I guess every single player so far we've seen definitely have a good chance of getting a 99. And I think EA did pick the players who actually could potentially get to the 99. So yes, this event is the most expensive event I ever seen, and I'm not a fan of it at all. At least the player choices so far looks okay. Andrew Mangiapane from Edmonton Oilers. He also have X factor quick release, 84 speed and 84 acceleration. Jared Spurgeon from Minnesota Wild, right-handed defenseman, also the captain of the team with 1T. This card actually looks really fun, and he does have 84 acceleration and speed. The player from St. Louis Blues will be Braden Shen with no contest, 81 speed and acceleration, and also 81 faceoff stats. I need to say that I really like the card art, at least for the master set players. I don't know, looks cool. And then my New York Rangers, Alexis Lafreniere with Big Rig, 84 speed and acceleration, quite solid shooting and hand stats already, but I'm not a fan that he's getting a fantasy card once again, considering we already had his fantasy card few years back. Dylan Cousins will be representing Ottawa Senators, 84 speed and acceleration, 80 shooting, and quite a mid hands. His X factor is second wind. I'm pretty sure he's definitely scoring all the goals needed to get to the 99, so anyone who gets him or makes him will have a really good right-handed winger considering his size. Oliver Bjorkstad will be the player from Tampa Bay Lightnings, 84 speed, 83 acceleration, X factor is pressure plus, and again, I can say this about every single player. The players EA chose have a really good chance of getting a 99 because pretty much every single player we've seen so far will score enough goals. And then probably the player who will get to the 99 the first, at least in my opinion, is Matthew Barzal. I am actually super hyped to see that he's getting a fantasy card. He does have a quick release, 85 speed and 86 acceleration. Yes, the shooting is not the best, but his hands are already very good. So if you don't have the favorite team, Matthew Barzal at this point at least would be my choice. Morgan Riley is getting another card, and in this event he's representing Toronto Maple Leafs. 84 speed and acceleration, 1T as his X factor. I don't understand why we are picking so many defensemen, considering he also recently already got an MSP. I was hoping to see some other players for Leafs, but hey, he's definitely scoring all the goals needed. Hopefully, I don't know. You tell me down in the comment sections below. Adam Larson will be representing Seattle Kraken. His X factor is Warrior, 83 speed and acceleration. Considering he is 6'3", and every goal he scores he goes up by 2, this may actually be a really good defenseman, because all he needs is 2 goals and he can be your first line defenseman. Noah Hannafin will be a left-handed defenseman from Vegas Golden Knights, and again, it just feels like EA is giving every single defenseman a fantasy card. Maybe they want these cards to go up to the 99 very quickly, or maybe they are just thinking that defensemen will not score anything. Nonetheless, X Factor send it, already 83 defensive awareness, he is 81 overall, so I understand why the stats look much better than some of the other cards we just looked at. But if we, let's say, look at Jamie Van Riemsdyk from Detroit Red Wings, this is another good card, because at 6'3", his shooting and hands are quite good already, 84 speed and acceleration, 87 endurance. So I'm actually hyped to see that EA is not nerfing these stats. So if, let's say, you are a Red Wings fan and you pick up this card, you can easily put him in your team and just watch the games and hopefully he will score. Another player who recently got a card is Sean Couturier. 82 speed and acceleration, his X factor is unstoppable, but already 88 faceoffs. Another card you can easily already put in your lineup and use every single day. And hey, Andrei Burakovsky. Not like we already had his card recently as well, but 87 speed and 87 acceleration, decent shooting and decent hands. And yes, I have no idea why EA is recycling the same players and giving the same players cards, because it just feels dumb. Ivan Provorov will be the defenseman from Columbus Blue Jackets. He's starting at 83, so 2 goals and he's basically the highest rated defenseman in the game. 85 speed and 85 acceleration, 84 defensive awareness, and rocket as an X factor. Neil Ponick will be the Winnipeg Jets player with Warrior, 85 speed and 85 acceleration. Anton Lundell will be a player from Florida Panthers, 84 speed, 83 acceleration, 81 faceoff stats. 100% this guy is scoring all the goals needed, because now with Alexander Barkov out for the season, he's definitely getting a promotion and more ice time, so I'm expecting Lundell to score plenty of goals to get up quite quickly. Brendan Gallagher will be the player from Montreal Canadiens, right-handed winger, 85 speed and acceleration, at 83 overall, another usable card straight away. His X factor is rocket, and if you look at the shooting stats, for example, wrist shot power and slap shot power already at 85. Philip Cheadle will be a fantasy card from Vancouver Canucks. His X factor is big rig, 85 speed and acceleration, and if you look at all these fantasy cards, the endurance is really good. So if you remember the prior years, fantasy cards always had a very low endurance. This year, EA decided, you know what, let's make all these cards very usable. And maybe that's the reason why they are so expensive, because I can tell you, as the season starts, pretty much all these players will score a goal or 2 in the first 5 games. So that will make these cards going up in the overall very quickly. Andrei Palat will be a player from New Jersey Devils. His X factor will be ankle breaker, and he also have 85 speed and 84 acceleration and 88 endurance. And then another card I'm super hyped to see getting a fantasy card is Taylor Hall. If Matthew Barzal is probably the best right-handed winger in the game, once he scores few goals, then Taylor Hall straight away will be an incredible left-handed winger, even without scoring any goals. Because already at 84 overall, 90 speed, 90 acceleration, and as you can see, he only has 76 endurance, but he does have 89 slapshot power and wrist shot power, 86 slapshot accuracy and wrist shot accuracy, the hands are decent, and he also have ankle breakers, so this is again incredible card. And for Washington Capitals, we will have Anthony Beauvillier, 84 overall, 87 speed and acceleration, decent shooting, decent hands, and his X factor is tape to tape. And then the highest rated fantasy card is Timothy Lindgren from San Jose Sharks, right-handed defenseman, so even if he don't score, you can already use him. His X factor is 1T, 88 speed and 87 acceleration. His slapshot power and wrist shot power is at 88. The accuracy probably could be better, but he does have 86 defensive awareness and also 86 endurance. So no need to say that EA did a really good job with choosing players who will score a lot of goals. So even if, let's say, you will do that B&D set we will look at in a minute, there is really not a bad choice. As far as these players stay healthy, I don't see a single player who will not get to the 99, at least at this point. Obviously, I will check the stats, and maybe some players will take it longer, some players will basically get it done in few months, but 100% these are really great player choices. The only thing I don't like about the player choices is that Morgan Riley, for example, already got a card. Same about Andrei Burakovsky. I'm pretty sure Bowen Byram also recently got a card. And in general, I just think that they could pick some other players for those teams who already got the players recently. But now let's talk about how you can get one fantasy B&D player for free. And let's start with hot moments. If you complete 10 hot moments, and some of them will be easier, and once you get to, let's say, Minnesota Wild moment, they all will be on All-Star or Superstar difficulty. But if you complete them all, you'll get one fantasy collectible here, one fantasy collectible here, another one here, and then the last one also will give you fantasy collectible. The only thing is, on Superstar difficulty, you have to score 3 goals with Taylor Hall, and you are down by 3 goals as well, so you cannot really wait for that empty netter. Same about 3 goals with Gallagher, down by 3 goals, 3 points on All-Star difficulty, again, down by 3 goals. So EA definitely made these moments quite difficult, and a lot of people in the community who are not really good at the game will not be able to complete it. If you are able to beat them all, that's 4 collectibles just from moments. After you have to complete all the objectives, and by completing every single objective, you will get yourself 12 fantasy collectibles as well. You will need to use the current event players, and I'm talking about this event who is running in parallel with the fantasy event. I will do a separate video to break every single card down, talk about the sets and stuff like that, but I'm assuming it will work exactly as the event before, because like I said, if you, let's say, win one Cup Chase game, you get 80 overall B&D player from this event already, then you put that player in your lineup, and if you don't get a center, you will need to go and buy someone, but you need to win 28 faceoffs, get 40 hip checks, 10 stick lifts, 70 dekes, 40 backhander shots, 60 slap shots, 20 snapshot goals, and also you will need to open 5 daily reward packs, and that will give you 12 collectibles. And if you completed everything, you can go and use your 16 collectibles in this random fantasy set B&D. I really love to see that they are giving us one fantasy card for free if you completed everything, and also, like I mentioned multiple times, I think every single card is really good and have a good potential of getting to 99, so I don't think you can really pull anyone from the B&D set who will be like, meh, he's probably not scoring. Now let's talk about the cost of these cards. If you want to make any fantasy card of your choice, and there is no random sets, you will need 40 collectibles, which at first I was thinking, you know what, not a bad cost considering it's a fantasy event, they always are expensive. And don't you worry, if you don't see the player you want to make here, you have to go to the bonus fantasy hockey player set, and you can find every other player here. So for example, if I want to make Alexis Lafreniere, I have to trade in the same 40 collectibles to get his card. But now let's talk about the sets, how you can make the collectibles. If you trade in 5 84 overall cards, you'll get yourself 3 collectibles. And that means to make one of the fantasy cards, you would need 50 84s. I don't even want to talk about the cost, it's ridiculous. If you have a lot of 82s, you only need to trade in 11 for 2 collectibles. So that means if you have 220 82 overall cards in your collection, you can make 40 collectibles. And if you are like me, who was thinking that 80 overall cards will have the best value in the fantasy sets, you probably was wrong. Because all you need to do is trade in 15 80 overall cards and you get 1 collectible. So that means all you have to do is just trade in 600 of these 80 overall cards for 40 collectibles. I know this event always is expensive, but the cost is ridiculous. I was thinking I will be able to make at least 2, and now I'm even wondering, will I be even able to make 1? I definitely will try to grind every single objective and also complete the moment to get that one B&D player for free, because even if you cannot complete everything, you definitely can complete the objectives, so that already gives you 12 collectibles. And then just try the moments you can do, and if let's say some of the moments are too hard, maybe just trade in some of your fodder if you have anything and just do the remaining collectibles. If you're wondering, wildcard is not giving you any collectibles, all you get is the collectibles from the other event, and if I have to wrap this all up, I probably would say then it will be easier to pull these cards than actually make. As already expected, we have 3 cards in the auction house and all of them are going for ridiculous price, 2 million coins. If you still have a lot of 78s or 79s, you can trade 3 78s or 79s and get yourself 180 overall card, which would maybe help you to make more fantasy collectibles, but at least we are still seeing use for 78s. Because we do have a lot of 78 to 79 overall fantasy cards, I will do a lot of these exchange sets to see maybe I get lucky, because I definitely know that I will not be able to make anything. Worst case scenario, I will just trade in these 78s to 79s and make 80s. At the moment, EA confirmed that there will be no B&D pack in the store, so if you remember last year, we was able to spend points or coins and just buy one pack with a random fantasy player who was a B&D, but at least that was an option. At this point in the game, EA have no plans of releasing one. Maybe later in the year, if we will see more fantasy events, that will come back, but at the moment, the only B&D card you can get is from the set, and you also can only do that set once. So what can I say? Love the player choices, don't love the cost. I think it's ridiculous. I don't see any scenario where someone who didn't spend any money can even make one. And I'm not talking about the free B&D player, because that's really cool, and obviously I will try to get that done. But if you are just a casual player and playing the game around 1 to 2 hours each day, you 100% will not have enough cards in your collection to get those 40 collectibles. Let me know down in the comment sections below, what do you think about the fantasy event in NHL 26? I am actually speechless because I was hoping that it will be player friendly, but clearly it's not. If you did enjoy today's breakdown video, video, please make sure you like and subscribe. It's absolutely free and also makes me smile. I will do a lot of videos around the fantasy event. If I will find, let's say, the most easiest ways to making the collectibles, also some reaction videos from the Reddit and stuff like that. So if you want to make sure you don't miss those videos, make sure you like and subscribe and have a good one. See you on the ice.